Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to archive video to the archive drive, export it through use bulk editing so that you have your tape ID and slug, and then we're also going to I messed up. Okay, in this video we're going to I'm going to show you how to export and archive to the archive drive using bulk edit. And we're going to pull things from iNews into a bin, and then I'm going to show you how to set this up, the information you need before you export. So I've opened up a bin here, and I'm going to pull some stuff in here to archive. And what I'm going to do is open up iNews, and this is in the 4 o'clock show, which has already been done. We've already aired it, and you can see we're just going to archive these two things here, the VO and the SOT. And so what I need to do is I find for each element, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to hit Control-C to copy the tape ID. I'm then going to go into the PME, doing a search and allowing the search to make sure that you can search by video ID. And I'm going to search that video ID, all dates and times. Control-V, hit enter. And here it is. And because we're mixing this down ultimately, I always pull over the transfer. So I'm going to pull that over here. Then I'm going to go back to iNews. I'm going to go to the next one. Control-C. Uh-oh. Yeah. You don't want to delete your tape ID. So Control-C. Go back to the PME. Do a search. Control-V. Search it, find the VO. You want the latest transfer. So one of these was transferred at 102, one at 129. We want the 129, that's the updated. We pull it over here. We do that for every single video ID element in the rundown that you want to archive. And yes, it does kind of take a little while, but you want to pull every element over here. Now what we're going to do is, if you've pulled everything over here, now when it comes time to archive, you have your slug here. But the other thing you need to have when you archive is the tape ID. And I want to show you, I'm going to Control-S this to save it, because I want to show you what happens if you try to bulk edit with the tape ID and you don't actually have the column available. It will crash Avid every time, and I want to show you what that error looks like. So if I try to right click here and I go to bulk edit, I'm going to get an error pop up. This is what it says. At least one rule used in the last used profile reference column is not present in the current bin. Unavailable tape ID. Current profile will be changed to default. But when I hit OK, it's going to freeze Avid and it's going to crash it every single time. So I'm going to hit OK and it's going to crash Avid. I'm going to have to reopen Avid. So give me 1 second here. And I'm going to skip. I'm just going to cut and skip ahead to when Avid is ready. Avid's open, reset up my workspace. Bear with me 1 second. I have it set for single screen. And close that. And hopefully everything is still here. It may not be. I may have lost everything. Nope, there it is. So I still have my VO and my SOT that I'm archiving. And so what happens is you need to set up essentially an archive workspace here. So what I'm going to do is right click here, choose columns, and what I want to do is go down and I want to find tape ID. I want to select tape ID and hit OK. Excuse me. So now I want to go up here and I want to do a save as. Where is it at? Save as, and just call it archive. And so I'm just going to I'm going to select archive because I already have it saved. I have that tape ID is right here. That's the NRCS. Where is it at? Tape ID right here. And so now it's a column that I can now save. So then what I'm doing is I'm going to select everything I need to archive for the day. I'm going to right click and I'm going to use bulk edit. Where is it at? Right here. This now opens. This is how you really want to have it set up. So modify column name. Change item with selection, replace column data with formatting string specific text, and this is where we're going to change it here in a second. Column data, add text from column, name. Column data, add text from column, tape ID. If these are not options, you hit the plus button to add an element. So really we're going to change, we want to add the tape ID to our export, and we want to change the name before we continue. So in this case, if you look over here, it's going to be Watermelon Festival, MEJ. No, that's the previous ones I'd done. So anyway, so forget that. It's right here. That's what I had named the previous thing I had archived. And so that's something I had added. So I want to clear this out. Now this text box that's empty is where I'm going to type in today's date. So 2023-08-30, and I think underscore. So that is what I'm changing it to. And if you look up here, so now what I'm changing this to is I'm just adding the 8-digit date and an underscore in front of all the other information, in front of the name, which is the slug, and the tape ID. If I hit commit, now see it's changed 2023-08-30 underscore and then the original what was named there. Once I've renamed everything with my 8 digits, you can select all, right click, output, export to file, and when this opens up, you can send it to the desktop, you can send it to the archive drive, wherever you're going to save this to. Just for a demonstration, I'm going to save it to the desktop. Down here, we have a preset called XDCAM17MXF. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to go to Options to show you what your settings should be. So you should be MXFOP1A, include inactive audio tracks, video compression, XDCAM HD 17.5 megabits. We want 4800 hertz sampling, 16 bits per sample, and actually when you export, it should be direct out. Direct out means that if you have 8 tracks of audio, it will export 8 tracks of audio. If you have it selected on stereo, it's only exporting tracks 1 and 2. And anything, if you have something edited or something you want to archive that has 20 tracks of audio, or let's say 8 tracks of audio because you have music, it's going to mix it all down to 2 tracks. But if you want to have everything as it was edited as far as audio goes and be able to re-import with all those different tracks of audio so that you can pull it apart and edit with it, you want to select direct out. And we're going to hit, if you don't already have this saved as XDCAM, just hit save as and name it. And then I always name it XDCAM17MXF. And everything I export, whether in the field, if it's to archive, everything I export is XDCAM17MXF except for one thing. And I'm just as a side note, if I'm exporting something to send to CBS, I export it as an HDV. I know H.264 is what most people do. It takes forever, but you can actually send stuff to CBS using HDV. And in that, you should have video quality best, stream type transport stream, hit save as HDV if you don't already have it saved. And then if you select the HDV, you can export it. It exports pretty quickly, and then you can drop it in a folder to upload. Your assignment desk or whoever can upload it to NewsPath. NewsPath will accept HDV. Faster way to get them video. So that's just a side note. Let's go back to MXF or XDCAM17MXF, and then I've got them both selected up here. They're both in this. Don't change anything in the file name here. And if I just hit save, my status bar is over here. So it is exporting each one. So it's exporting the first one. And now it's exporting the second one. And then even though I have dual monitors, I can only record on one monitor, so I will show you in a second. So now they're exported. I minimize Avid. I'll pull them over here so you can see them. But I've got each one of these exported. And then what we would do is once it's exported, if you have the rights, like here I'm the only one that has rights to be able to write to the drive, so I could actually export directly to the OKC Avid drive. Our editors actually will export to a folder either on the public drive or on the desktop that's called archive, and then after all the stuff has been exported to that, then they'll go into the archive drive, which is here, find the date, so 2023, this is August, And then because of the date, you would drag those in there. So if I wanted to drag them in there, well, that's it. You can watch it using VLC. But if I select each one,
we've known, we've had an idea of who we wanted since early Saturday morning, but any investigator knows that it takes a while to put your case together. You don't want to just put a name out there. I believe it's dangerous to put a name out there without having an arrest warrant.
Okay. Anyway, we'll close that, close that. So if I drag them in here, and you could drag them all, skip. So they're in there, and you'll notice here it exported as with a tape ID. If you do not select that column, it won't export with a tape ID. You have to have the tape ID column in there. It's only going to export the file with the name of whatever is in those columns and whatever you've selected in the bulk edit. But here is a tape ID. So you can tell that some of our editors have exported some things without a tape ID because they just haven't done it correctly. So you have to be vigilant about exporting your stuff, and you can see we've got several that didn't. And so when it comes to searching, most of the times go in iNews, find the story, and find the date. You can go right here to the date, and let's say it's the 28th, and we search the day of in the archive and the day after, because sometimes the day after is when things get archived and the date gets off by 1. So if you're looking for something on 8/28, you also want to check 8/29, and you can scroll through here and find stuff pretty quickly. If you wanted to do a search, then I would go up here to, let's say we want to search for something in August. We go up to search here, and if I Choctaw, and see, I can only search, I can partial search, and it's giving me the partial, but it's showing Choctaw. Anything with C-H-O-C-T is in there. If I search something with C-H, everything with C-H is going to pop up, and I can scroll through here and find it. So I can search full words, so police. And there's police, any slug that has police in it. If I have a tape ID, and I'm just totally guessing on one right now, but KW0826, let's say a partial one. Well, that's not correct. Let's just find one I know for sure. 080123 Zen. 080123 Zen. So KW 0821 23 Zen. I know I put something in here wrong. 82123. Oh, maybe it's because it's not cap. I just saw it in there. Anyway, there's the date. Everything from that date on the tape ID, there it is. And I can easily find something. So you can do partial searches. Now, I'm doing a search because I've highlighted August 2023. Anything I search up here is only searching this in this folder in August. If I want to do a full search of everything, so here we have like our bombing archive specials, everything. If I want to search everything, then what I want to do is I want to go back, and I want to go to archive drive and do a search, and it'll search everything. If I want to search just 2023, then click 2023 and do a search. But it's going to search whatever you've clicked and highlighted. So if I click this and highlight it, I'm searching here. Go in here, I'm searching it in August. So you got to be mindful of what folder you're in. So if I click in 2023 and now I do a search, I'm searching all of 2023. If I click in 8, I'm searching all of 8/2023. So but it absolutely does a partial search up here in the Windows search bar right there. And so that's essentially how we archive, and we've never really had a problem with producers, editors, or anybody else finding video. And so I hope this, guys, has helped you out.